Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the podcast. I'm Steven Rogers.
I'm Andrew Chavone. Hello, everyone.
Good to see you. This is, I was bragging about us off air. This is the best and quickest setup we've done so far.
I know. See if the good vibes roll.
Yeah, let the good vibes roll by the Cars. Were you ever a Cars guy?
Nah, I mean the band. Nah, I hated them.
Really?
Or maybe I'm thinking the Cores. Was there a band called the Cores?
The Cure?
No, I like them.
You like The Cure?
There's a band called the Cores. Some band where I'm like, I had to change the station whenever they came on.
Oh, man. You weren't a hardcore core guy?
No. Cores,
Coors Light?
Cores. Yeah, but how does that make sense?
That was your intake.
My intake was light, yeah. Could only take a light amount of the Cores before I had to turn the channel. If you like the Cores, write in, everyone.
Yeah, let us know. Recommend a Cores song, and we'll listen to it and talk about it.
My favorite album of theirs is Banquet Beer. So,
mine is Molten
Molten Lava.
Core.
Oh, Molten Core.
Earths.
Probably my favorite core is Apple.
I like their song "Rot to the."
Oh yeah,
Rotten to the.
Rotten to the yeah. I like that movie where they drill in the center of the earth. That song. All right, everyone, we're getting more ridiculous here. We got to move on. I got a big story I teased on the bonus.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear it?
I definitely want to hear it.
Should we save it for the end or the beginning? Or
I think do it up top because you will. Just do it. Just tell it.
Well, I know people are anxious about the Home Depot story I teased last time, so I'll get into that. It actually never happened, but some other thing happened, so you got nothing to wait for.
Good start. Actually, I wish more things were like that, where instead of teasing it, you just go, by the way, that thing, it didn't happen.
Not happening. Don't wait for it.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
I wish more things were like that.
That's anxiety, everybody. You wait for things.
Oh, yeah. Uncertainty.
The waiting is the worst part.
Tom Petty, hardest part.
Hardest part, yeah.
Great song. Yeah, it sounded just like it.
Big fan of him.
Yeah?
Yeah, I like Tom Petty.
Tom Petty heavy instead of light.
Tom Heavy. All right,
Heavy Petty.
This story I've been waiting a whole Heavy Petty. Hot
Manny.
and heavy.
Manny Petty. Okay, anyway.
Petty.
That was his brother.
That should be a name of a singer if it hasn't already been.
I know. That would be a great rapper name.
Yeah, the mamas and the mops and the pops.
The mamas and the rappas. Get to the rappa. All right. Anyways.
Arepa. I've been waiting a whole week to tell you the story, so I want to.
Please tell me.
All right, it might not be that good, but.
Well, cut the fat off of it.
I was going through it in my head all day, so.
Yeah, get the fat
off
there.
It's all lean and mean for you. So here, beginning Monday, we get a text from your neighbor and friend Joe List.
Mm-hmm.
That said, hey, we had such a good time watching the movie last time, which was in December, and we got COVID immediately after that. I don't know why that was a good time, but he said, let's do it again. I'm getting a bunch of people together. I'm going to invite Sarah, his wife, this writer for Letterman, who wrote for Letterman, and he's a pretty nice guy. I forget his name, but Joe said he was really cool. And I'm like, sounds great. So by the time I get there like 5 minutes before the show starts, and at this theater, it's the Paris Theater, there's no previews. It's like a high-quality kind of place.
Right.
So the show starts at time. I'm used to old, Marvel movie start time.
Right.
Like 45 minutes after the time, because you got to see, the trailers, the Coke commercial.
Well, you show up to everything like it's a Marvel movie.
What, tease at the last minute?
No, you're always late.
Oh.
Because I will quickly say that the one thing I knew about this story prior to you telling it now is Joe went, and Andrew was late.
I was not. He asked me to get popcorn. It was his fault. I'm walking in the theater, and I look at my phone. He goes, "Can you pick up some popcorn?" And I go, "Okay." So I got to go down to get to the whatever that's called. What is it called? Concessions.
Yeah.
wait for them, and then this ticked me off, and this isn't part of the story, but I asked for a soda, 2 popcorns, one for Joe, one for me, soda for me. I get to the seat, half filled, the soda.
Oh.
And it's like, if I go down there and say, what's up with you guys? They're going to be like, you just drank half of it.
Right. You're out of view. Like, yeah.
I was so upset because, you pay top dollar for those drinks.
Real top dollar.
And I was just pissed, like, God, I'm so thirsty. All this popcorn, so salty. So here's the story. So I walk in, I think I walked in when it started, maybe not, but I give Joe they're in the back, like there's like a balcony at this theater.
Okay.
And they're in the back. Rows are kind of narrow. Jason Cantor is there, seat down from the aisle. Then there's an empty seat, and then Sarah and Joe. Then there's an empty seat, and then there's this guy, empty seat, other people. So there's no real room for me unless I want to like take up those empty seats, which I feel like are separated because of COVID or something.
Oh, maybe.
I don't know if they were saving me the seat, but there was a lot of gaps between people. The only thing that wasn't a gap was Joe and Sarah, so I didn't want to like
Right.
couple up with Jason Cantor or whatever, and this other guy that I didn't know. So I sat behind them. I sat behind Sarah. I could look at Joe. I gave him the popcorn, we fist bumped. I'm watching the movie. And this is a running of Network, which is a movie from the 70s I've never seen, with the actual projector with the reels.
Oh, wow.
So like
Instagram
reels. So this we're in the back, and the sound of this projector is like deafening. Like I can't even focus on the movie. This thing's like like an angry transformer,
Right.
from 2007, the one that's looks like a crackhead.
Yeah, that's not an Optimus viewing.
It wasn't Prime. It wasn't a Prime arrangement for me.
It was a Megatron pain in the ass.
I'm like, can you turn on subtitles here? I can't freaking hear this thing. So then I'm like watching the movie. I'm like really focused on the movie because I can barely hear. And then I look at the guy next to Joe, who I think is the Letterman writer, and I'm like, man, that guy looks really familiar. And I'm watching the movie, but I can't help like looking in the corner of my eye at this guy next to Joe, and I'm like, man, this is a Letterman writer. Like, I guess maybe he goes on screen or something, because this guy looks really familiar. He puts his arm around Joe to tell him something, and I see his watch, and it's like this giant Rolex.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh. And I keep looking at him. I'm like, holy crap. That's Louis C.K. I'm looking at Louis watching the movie.
Yeah.
So immediately I'm just looking at him.
You're watching him the rest of the movie.
Watching him, yeah. Watching him move around.
Louis movie.
Yeah. Louis. Oh, boy. This movie sucks. No, it's a pretty good movie. It was a really good movie, by the way. I don't think you would like it, but
I was told I would. I was apparently it's funny.
It's funny like in a blunt way.
Yeah.
Because they're like so blunt in the whole movie.
Mm-hmm.
So whoever wrote this script is like bitter about TV back in the 70s.
Yeah.
It'd be like if we wrote a script about TikTok and whatever, we'd be like
It'd be a short movie, only 30 seconds.
yeah, it'd be or 15. But we would be like, these kids today. That's what the movie's like.
Oh, wow.
They're like this old man dates a young woman, and he's like, we can't even talk. You've been raised on TV your whole life.
Oh, boy.
I'm like, there was a time where you weren't?
Mm-hmm.
And he's talking to her like she's insane. We were raised on TV. But I'm looking at my nieces like they're raised on the internet.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus, they're gonna be disturbed. But
yeah, and then they're gonna look at their kids. You were raised on holograms.
You were raised on metaverse.
Oh man.
So that was funny because he keeps bitching and whatever about kids today or whatever, and plus it makes fun of networks or whatever. So anyway, so I'm like thinking about halfway through the movie. I'm thinking about, oh, what do I say to Louis when I meet him?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well, I remember we were over at Joe's place, and they're making a movie together. And he said, we were watching Home Alone at Joe's place over Christmas, and he said, oh, the first line of the movie that I'm making is a Home Alone quote. And I'm like, maybe I'll say that to Louis.
Yeah, he doesn't know about that.
No. I don't know. So then the movie ends.
So can I ask what your ideal? So I'm you and you're Louis.
Mm-hmm.
Do what you fantasize Louis' reaction would be.
Okay. So you tell me.
You know, Mr. CK, I know in that movie you did with Joe, there's a Home Alone quote.
Wow, actually there is. It's a funny story about that. You know, a big Home Alone fan, and I don't know.
All right. That's a pretty good, that's a reasonable
I thought maybe he'd bounce something back to me.
Yeah.
Maybe not. So this is what I say. So Joe, so the movie ends, we all stand up, and I'm like, oh, what do I do? I don't know. It's pretty awkward. I'm in the aisle behind them by myself.
Right.
And Joe says to Louis, this is Andrew. He's have you ever met him? He's a very funny comedian. And I go, wow, I was like surprised how nice that was. And I shake Louis' hand and I go, hey, congratulations on that movie you did. The only thing I know about it is the opening line is a line from Home Alone. And Louis laughs, and then Joe goes, how do you know that? Like right in the middle of Louis.
Oh, blocked by Joe.
Yeah, and then I'm like trying to pivot, so I go, you told me. And I like look back at Louis, and then Joe says, when did I tell you that? So I gotta like look back at Joe, and I said, when we watched Home Alone. And I look back at Louis, and Joe says, we watched Home Alone?
Oh my God.
And now we're walking out of the theater.
Joe has destroyed this.
I'm literally like, I'm like, because I can't believe he doesn't remember. It just happened a month ago. And I go, yeah, man, I was over at your place. I'm like losing it. I'm like, you invited me over. We watched Home Alone. I sat next to you. And he goes, oh, yeah, but that was in the background. And I said, it was still on.
Yeah.
Making me look insane. And you also told me that when we were watching it. So then we walk out of the theater, and the cool thing, I got to say, is normally I would have nothing to talk to Louis about at all, other than weird things. So like the movie line that I wrote for an hour.
They went well.
That blew up in my face and made me look like a spaz. But I'm like, oh, we could talk about the movie. So we all stood up in front of the theater, and we're talking about network, and we were talking about scenes, and Louis said that it was the reason he moved to New York because the apartments were nice, and he got there and was like, wow, these apartments suck.
Wow.
Where are these 2-floor apartments with an elevator and all this? And then we talk about how character Howard Beale was, started out just as a bitter guy who basically says on camera at the beginning of the movie, this is all BS. I hate it. I'm going to kill myself in a week. Hopefully you all can tune in.
Wow.
That's how the movie opens, with this newscaster like having a breakdown.
Wow.
And then that becomes the highest rated thing on the news. So they have him back next week just to be insane. Or no, to apologize. And then he apologizes and says, I apologize for all the BS I've given you. News is BS. He kind of like rants about the news.
Yeah.
And then everyone liked that even more. So then they keep bringing it back to be crazy on the air. And then he kind of like has a nervous breakdown or something where he thinks he sees God, and God tells him all these things to say on TV, and he just basically becomes a lunatic. But people still really watch it. Anyway, we said that was like Donald Trump, like he started out like
semi-crazy,
and by the end, by the insurrection, he's like a complete nutcase, like like similar. So it was similar. I don't know. It was cool talking about Louis about that, and we talked all this stuff, and then we talked for like 10 minutes, and then Joe says, hey, guys, heads up. There's 2 people filming us.
Whoa.
And when I look over, and the bellhop or whatever it is, usher from the movie, in the glass ticket booth, has his phone right up, filming us. Some other guy across the street has his phone up, and I'm realizing everyone's looking at us. Not only these 2 people filming, but everyone's like standing around us, staring at us, talking about this movie.
Right.
And that kind of ruined the vibe, and we all like went home
separately.
I went home with Joe.
Yeah.
Louis just even asked what we were doing. Because Joe said he had to go home to shower because he wanted to shower or something.
That tracks.
So there's no real open invite to
No,
Louis to come
yeah.
shower with
Hey,
him.
yeah, Louis, come over. I'm gonna shower, and I guess you could just sit around and wait while I dry.
And then I got to talk to Joe List about the movie on the train ride home, but I mean,
Yeah.
it's okay. But it wasn't like talking to Louis I thought we were going to go out to dinner.
Might have if the paparazzi weren't there.
If the paparazzi weren't there and Joe didn't have to shower.
The bellhop paparazzi.
The bellhop version, at a hotel.
Yeah,
the version of
but
that.
The movie people, they
Yeah,
have
they
the
wear
little
like a
thing.
hat.
Yeah.
What is that?
Isn't it called a Beefeater's hat or something?
Maybe.
I know there's a hat that's called that, but I don't know if it's that hat.
Those are those guards that Queen Elizabeth has that walk in front of her palace.
That's
are
a Beefeater?
Those are the Beefeaters. Their hats are like really big.
Oh, the fluffy ones.
Yeah, they're like fluffy and black. And there's a clip online of this. They have to do their patrols or whatever. And this kid is like standing in their way and doesn't move. And the soldiers just kick and walk over him. They literally kick him and then just keep like he was invisible.
Yeah, well, they're supposed to be that way.
I know, beef that way.
Beef. They've got beef. Things are really beef eating up.
Yeah.
They beefed him up.
They beefed it up for the news.
Well, I saw a video where they're, because they're not supposed to have expressions or break pose or stature or whatever. I saw a guy where he's like going like this, and a bunch of people do that, a bunch of tourists and stuff. But this guy, I think, hit his hat off or something. But once you touch them, all bets are off. The guy punched him.
Oh my God.
Knocked him on the ground.
And there's nothing going to happen to those guys. They're protected by the queen.
Yeah.
Like the highest authority in the land.
Yeah.
There was a funny Simpsons too where he's in Australia and there's or somewhere and there's the guards that guard the embassy and he's like, "Are you one of those soldiers that can't react?" And he kind of like taunts him, and then it's it's a United States Marine. He just punches Homer and goes, "No, I am not one of those, sir."
Amazing.
It was so good.
That's a great joke. I have a story about your story.
Yes.
I had flown home that day.
Yeah.
The day that you guys all hung out and saw this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I fly in early in the morning.
By the way, Joe gave me 2 hours notice of the movie, and he complains I'm late. What am I supposed to do? Just sit around, like a phone, I work in a firehouse. As soon as he texts me, I go down the pole. I have like things to do, man. It's amazing I made the movie.
Well, I have the same Beefeater with this. Is I flew home. It's early in the morning, and apparently he had texted me as soon as he heard the door open and was like, "Did you just come home?" And I didn't see the text because as soon as I get home, you saw Caitlin just now.
Mm-hmm.
When we come home from the road,
I'm the same exact way. That's why I was like concerned that we were doing the podcast. Because
she's asleep right now.
I need that soaking up time and TV couch time. Yeah.
So I shed my coat and phone. It's like those sex scenes where the clothes are just everywhere and there's like a line to the place, but it's just all my luggage and shoes and phone and keys.
Yeah.
And then I'm on the couch.
All those rose petals you packed. A line of those travel pedals.
Man, that got me.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, you really got me. But and then I just passed out, so I missed it. And then when I woke up, it was around the time that Caitlin got up, and we started doing stuff around the house. So I never saw it. I text back, "Hey, just saw this text. I'm probably too late." And I guess I texted him while you two were together riding home.
Yeah, and he looks at me and says, "Steve just texted me back. Does he do that to you?" I go, "Sometimes." I'll just throw you under the bus.
Yeah, now he's got Beefeater with me.
Well, he's got to be with me. I'm late, and I don't know.
No, it's normal. It's Joe. He was teasing.
I know.
anyways, I got a little bit of a thing here.
Okay.
I had I have very little experience of social media going well for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I recently had a tweet
Yes.
that went viral.
Oh, how viral?
45,000.
Oh my God!
Likes.
Wow.
And like 1.5 retweets.
1.5 retweets.
And
half a person retweeted.
Yeah.
The Hobbit.
1.5k retweets.
Oh, cool.
So it's constant, and it's still going up. And this is from like 3 days ago or something.
Yeah, it's gonna keep doing that for like a month.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I've never had this ever.
Really? You never had one like blow up?
I've had one blow up, but it gets to like maybe
50 or 25.
I've had a 900 something, but never 45,000.
Wow. Well, I remember that first time for me was like, it was like cloud 9 endorphin rush every like 5 seconds.
Yeah. It's a huge rush. You keep checking it, and it's like stocks or gambling. You're just like, oh my God, we're soaring here.
We're to the moon.
Yeah, yeah. And then every tweet after that's bombing.
Yeah, well, that's what happens. Yeah. Well, that's what it increases the anxiety. You're like, I can't top this.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. That's exactly my point. Now I'm like, I liked it better when tweets were best doing 50 likes for me, because it was like, all right, this is normal.
You liked when the bar was low.
The bar was low. Now it's,
Well, you open the door now. Well, so that first time it happened to me was like beginning of pandemic. Like the first viral tweet I had was about, remember when Game of Thrones was bad or something? Remember when everyone complained about Game of Thrones? And then that with me was like, oh my God, like constant endorphin. That was 2 years ago now.
Yeah.
Now I get like, I go viral once a week. I'm like, all right, what else?
Big deal.
Big deal. I need to get a sandwich. Now I don't. Now I get like a brain deficit if I don't go viral. Like that's how.
Oh God.
I'm just like, it's like cigarettes now.
Yeah.
I don't get high, but I need them.
What I didn't know that comes with it, and I'm sure you have some stories here, is the amount of idiots that reply seriously to your jokes.
Who don't get the joke? Yeah.
Yes.
That's a given.
I've had that on my own personal Facebook where I'm like, oh God, these are idiots I know. But my joke was my girlfriend told me when I die she's going to read all my notebooks.
That's the one that went viral? I saw that one when I had 3 likes. I saw that one at the beginning.
It blew up.
Wow.
And you know what hurts my feelings the most is that is everyone's reaction.
Is the reaction like, is that
one went viral?
No, it's that one. I thought you had a different one.
No.
Wow.
But I told Ronan, and Ronan went, that went viral?
Of course he did, yeah. I thought you had another one. Do you have another one?
I had another one that went to 1,000 prior to that.
I thought that was the one you're talking about.
I thought that was going to go viral, but it didn't. This one did.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was my reaction because I was surprised because I thought that one was viral. So
the one you're thinking of is it's crazy. It's called a checking account because that's my least favorite. That's what I always regret doing.
Uh-huh.
And then the one that went viral was my girlfriend told me that when I die, she's going to read all my notebooks. So I've been writing about a treasure I buried that doesn't exist.
Uh-huh.
And that's being shared like crazy, all from girlfriends. It's all girls sharing it going, that's so me, LOLs.
So many boyfriends are comedians with joke books?
I don't know what it means, but...
Because that's what you were doing,
I think it's a bunch of girls saying that they... they invade their boyfriend's privacy.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if I could have edited that one for you, you could have made it more relatable by saying iPhone note.
Yeah, but I don't want it to be a lie. I don't...
Yeah, but...
You're telling me you would make my viral tweet better? What was that? You're explaining how my viral tweet could be better.
That's what surprised me. It surprised me that it went viral because...
Are you trying to fix something that went viral?
Could have been more viral, double viral.
Oh, God.
No. You did it right. Whatever you did worked.
Thank God you weren't there when the Wright brothers were on their bicycle with wings.
I know. I was reading about them.
Were you?
Yeah, they're not the first people that flew.
I know.
You know?
Yeah.
Oh man, we could do another podcast. We could bring back that podcast where we explain things.
We could do that in the bonus.
No one wants to hear that.
Well,
you guys want to have a hour episode on the history of flight?
No, I wouldn't say an hour.
Oh,
but
okay.
Just talk about it on the
yeah.
bonus.
All right, everyone. We'll do 15 minutes of the history of flight.
Yeah.
History of manned heavier than air travel. That's what it's called.
Oh wow! I'm glad they upgraded that.
Well, lighter than air.
Did you come in there and go, I know how you can make this better?
Well, the proof is in the pudding.
That's right. Did they use pudding to fly?
But what's funny is I'll tell a quick story about the first manned. Well, it was lighter than air travel. Was a weather balloon.
Mm-hmm.
The first time it worked were these two brothers. There's a lot of brothers in flight.
Yeah.
Did you know this story?
I don't know this story.
It's the first time anyone's been up in a weather balloon or a hot air balloon, it's called.
It had to have been by accident.
Well, they had this theory: if they burn smelly things, it'll float.
Oh,
Their theory was burning smelly things. So then they had a basket and they put in old shoes, rotted beef, and the
beef heaters.
But the way hot air balloons work is the air gets burned and it becomes lighter than the air around it. So then the balloon floats. So then it was working for them because of science.
Right, but they thought it was smelly things.
So smelly things. And these guys were like regular Joes.
Yeah.
They just had a theory. So then they go to this panel of scientists in France in the late 1700s, and they're like, check this out. And they put in the smelly shoes and the beef and all this stuff, and the balloon floats, and the scientists are like, what the hell? They get that they understand the science of what they're doing, and they never seen it work.
Yeah.
But they figure out really quickly that it's not smelly shoes and rotted beef that's making this balloon float. It's like the lighter than air.
Right.
So then they kind of get, even though they invented basically the hot air balloon, they kind of get laughed out of the science thing.
I just picture them going for runs in their shoes going, we got to fly next Tuesday.
They are they're timing themselves jogging because they're wearing smellier shoes.
All right. We could probably get in the air for 6 minutes with how much we've been sweating.
It's just such a great story.
Get some more burgers and put them outside. Oh, wow. Crazy.
So those are the first people in the air, and that was maybe 100 years before the Wright brothers.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll get into it on the bonus.
Wow. So why didn't your Home Depot thing happen?
Oh, are you done with your thing? Just to wrap it up, everyone. You obviously your tweet was worded better than what I said.
I know, but
if I were to write it though, it would be a little bit different. But it wouldn't have gone viral. Yours did, which just boggles my mind because usually when it goes viral, it's super relatable.
But I think a bunch of people write in notebooks.
Do they?
Yeah, there's diaries, there's gratitude journals.
Oh, well, that's what's throwing me off. That's probably throwing Renan off too.
You probably do you write on a computer when you write?
No, I have a notebook.
Oh, but yeah, you're a comedian.
I write jokes in there.
Yeah, but I feel like people write all the time.
Oh, okay. Because I know what you use notebooks for.
But people I know that I can think of that write aren't comedians. Like I can think of a handful of people that I know that write that aren't comedians. All
right, well, this opens my mind up to the idea of your tweet. I'm coming around.
I didn't take offense. I just liked the wording, and it was fun to mess with you.
I know it's fun to mess with you too.
It's really fun. But the anxiety, to sum it up, is, I I have a lot of friends that go viral a lot, and I'm like, man, that I never like got jealous, but I'm like, man, that'd be cool. And then now that I've experienced it, I'm like, oh, it is an anxiety-inducing experience.
Yeah, so the worst part is, and I'm used to this now, but the people that comment, you suck, basically the haters.
Yeah.
The haters are the worst part about going viral.
The hating is the hardest part.
Hating is the hardest part. And, I mean, I've talked about it a million times here, but also it's disappointing how little actually happens.
I got maybe 20 followers.
Yeah, you get no money.
No money.
You get nothing.
The joke is bombing on stage.
The joke is bombing on stage. Well, that's what happens with tweets. Every time I have a tweet that works, it bombs on stage.
Yeah.
2 different art forms.
Really.
Because
truly.
the tweet is read in somebody else. Their brain reads the voice.
Right.
Stage, it's your voice.
Yeah.
So it's different. It's a different thing.
Yeah.
So sometimes the basis of the joke can work on stage.
I'm
like
tinkering with it now.
some kind of treasure map thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
The fact that your girlfriend's going through your stuff is funny, but
yeah.
I mean,
I'll figure it out.
If I were you on stage, I would say, my girlfriend said she's going to go through all my stuff when I die, so I hid a treasure map in a bookcase.
That's funny.
That's
actually pretty...
Because it's simpler.
Yeah.
And the people who retweeted it have journals, but everyone in the audience doesn't have a journal.
That's great. I love that.
So whatever, everybody. But live
from New York, it's Saturday night.
Live from New York, it's joke tweeting or tweaking. Tweaking a tweet.
When viral, I tweaked.
But I mean, I said it before, and I'll say it again. Wait, is that a song?
That's something. That is.
Say it before and I'll say it again. Maybe it's Meatloaf.
Oh, maybe.
Oh, by the way, I don't think we talked about when he died.
Well, Louis Anderson died too. We haven't talked about that.
2 big guys, big stars.
Yeah.
I know we'll talk about it toward the end if we have time. But did this happen to you? People from high school? Oh, I already asked you about this. You said when you got Colbert, people from high school were messaging you.
Yes.
Are they still? Are they doing it now from Twitter?
When the last time Funny Introvert posted something of mine, somebody from my community college sent me a screenshot of it, and they were like, "Is this you?" I'm like, well, it's my name and face.
And then you said yes, and what'd they say?
And then they started trying to catch up, and it was nice.
Yeah, that's what happens to me too.
Yeah.
Same thing, Funny Introvert or one of those meme accounts.
Huge shout out to Funny Introvert for letting people know I exist.
Yeah, same. I just got a DM the other day from a guy I went to high school and grade school with, and who I didn't even really talk to at all.
Yeah.
And he sent me the message, hey, man, it's me from grade school. We went to grade school together. I always knew you were funny. Congrats. Let's catch up sometime. And I'm like, catch up about what? The fact that you saw a tweet of mine? I don't understand. And then and then he forgot I went to high school with him.
Oh.
He forgot 4 years I was around this guy where he also didn't talk to me. I went to high school with him. He completely forgot. He said grade school.
I mean, I've had some people I barely talked to send me beautiful messages that are really nice.
Uh-huh.
And we hardly spoke. So I'm like, actually, this is working out great.
Sometimes it's like nice, but then it's like,
I had one person that was really rude.
I've had that too.
And I'm like, God, that I went to high school with. They just wrote, get new jokes, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I would have screenshotted that and posted that.
I kept it.
Oh, good.
For when, and they were trying stand-up. I may have already told you this.
No.
They were doing a Trump impression when it was 2016 era. And he was doing Alec Baldwin's Trump, basically. And he would do the jokes from SNL.
And on stage?
On stage.
Oh my God.
And he was god-awful. And he would stay in character the whole night. And he heckled as Trump.
Oh, God.
And he would heckle the other comedians as Trump. And then one time he told me to get new jokes when I would do new jokes.
I would say, get jokes.
Yeah.
Get any kind of original joke.
Yeah, right. Right.
Right, brothers.
Yeah, Alec Baldwin was the original people that came up with Flight, and he was the Wright brothers of Syracuse Trump impressionists. And then he wrote trying to apologize to me, and I ignored it.
I would post that and say, good things happen when you go viral, and it's that message. I would seriously post that.
I'll never do it. I don't want to give him any exposure.
Well, it's just his name, isn't it?
Yeah, but I don't want to give him any time of day.
Well, whatever. He sucks. Whoever you are, you probably stalk Steve, so screw you, man.
You're gonna get you're gonna get a voice memo from.
I hope you get sued by the Attorney General in New York and Georgia. So
he's working on his Biden now. He's busy.
the people who do impressions of the New York State Attorney General are suing him. People who do bad impressions of the New York Attorney General.
That's really funny. That's really funny.
Oh my God, this douchebag.
What was yours?
What was mine?
You said that you had somebody write mean things to you that you knew.
Oh no, this guy I went to college with when I went to a wedding. He walked up to me and was like, "Yo," he basically said, "I don't get why you're funny." And I was like, "Cool, man. I'm never gonna talk to you ever again." He said it in person.
God.
Cool. Yeah, we're over. Whatever this was, we're officially done. I'm never gonna talk to you or follow up with you or care about your life.
What an idiot.
So,
what are we doing on time here?
We got like 20 minutes.
We're doing good.
Yeah. So, what do you think about that? So, the thing that bothered me about the guy from my high school and college, 18 years of my life with this guy, you forgot 4 of them, is like, I guess it's kind of like an icebreaker. Like, oh, I saw you on viral. I thought about you. Let's hang out.
Right.
But my first instinct is like, this guy completely forgot I existed until he saw me. I don't know.
But that's sort of our MO is
just
being quiet and fading into the background.
Fading in the background.
Yeah.
I did do that for 18 years of my life.
I certainly did.
So
the people that knew me and liked me, I wouldn't shut up around. But everybody else, I might as well have painted myself like a locker.
Yeah, because I was in one, so it was easy to paint myself like one. I had all dimensions of the locker.
I'm forgetting the comedian's name. His name's Matt something, but he had the best joke. He's like, I went to my high school reunion. It was great to see that I still fit in my old locker.
Yeah, that's
Matt something.
Like an old comic or new comic?
Older than us. Like
I remember that joke
Conan.
too.
It was a Conan joke.
Yeah, a good one.
Yeah.
Man, lost my train of thought here. Whatever, everybody. Oh, so Drew, I'm sorry. The guy who DM'd me. If you listen to this podcast, and
I'm not sorry.
I'm not really gonna want to hang out with you, but you can message me more. Busy schedule.
Oh, quick follow-up on the wedding situation.
Oh, yeah.
So this coming week starts the run of weddings I have to go to. The numbers have gone up on how many weddings I'm invited to this year.
Oh, my God.
I think I'm at 7 weddings.
You're at 7 weddings in 1 year?
I think so.
It's because of, COVID delays?
COVID delays.
Oh, my God.
But my cousin called me up.
Uh-huh.
And his wedding, so I'm officiating a wedding in April. My cousin called me up to be his best man in August.
Wow.
So I'm like
That's a lot of obligations.
I'm gonna be so tired.
And do you have to move any comedy shows, or were they free weekends anyway?
So far, I haven't had to move any shows.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. So I've got a lot of speeches to write.
Well, luckily, you're used to traveling and performing.
Yeah.
I have 2 road weekends booked in March, and I already feel exhausted.
Yeah.
I've been kind of unwinding.
Oh no, yeah. That's
just to get ready to go 2 different weekends.
Yeah,
I'm usually once a month guy. You go every day.
Yeah.
You're always out.
I'm gone next weekend, and then the weekend after that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think you can handle it.
I've never had to write serious acts before.
Well, I can send you the speech I wrote for my brother,
Please.
and you could just change the words.
Oh, I'd love it if you read it on the bonus.
The speech I had for my brother?
Yeah.
I still have it on tape. I mean, audio tape.
Still. You can play it on the bonus.
Sure, yeah.
That'd be fun.
This other guy helped me out with my speech because he was older than me and a comedian.
Yeah.
And he kind of like put himself as the master of speeches.
So funny. We have a comedian friend. I won't out him, but I knew he was ordained.
Oh.
So I saw him recently, and
Anthony ordained on no, what is it called? Uncharted. What is the show called? No Borders.
I don't remember. Without Borders, maybe.
Without Borders.
I don't know. Uncharted is a movie
and a video game.
They're digging in the wrong place. But I said to this comedian, I'm like, hey, I heard you're ordained. I'd love to ask all your expertise and advice. And he goes, oh, yeah, I made that up.
What?
I'm not ordained. I just pretend to marry people at shows sometimes.
Oh.
He's like, it's a bit. They're not really being married, and it's just a joke. I'm like, oh, okay.
That doesn't make sense.
Well, it's just to be silly for him, I guess.
This is a random thing he does. That doesn't make sense at all. Why would you even get that idea?
I don't know, but it made me laugh.
All right. But I think you're going to be okay. Serious is, I feel like the funnier the speech is, the better. And then you can always get serious. It's so easy to get serious.
Yes.
You just have to be real.
Yeah. Like the projector.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to have to write a best man speech and marry a couple this year.
All right. Well, the marrying, do you have to give a speech for that?
I have to do a 15-minute ceremony.
Yeah, whatever. It's like you've seen every marriage movie.
Well, I'll have 5 weddings to go to before this one I'm doing.
Four weddings and a funeral. You're going to officiate 4 weddings, and then you're going to have a show where you bomb.
That's really funny. Oh, man. So before we get into topics, what happened with this Home Depot date?
Oh, yeah. So we planned on going to Home Depot, but I feel like that got moved. We ended up going to actually a museum. What?
The store got moved?
Yeah, it got moved to. They sold out of shovels and stuff. They had to close. No, I think we had to move days, so we had to plan on a weekend, which so we could do the museum. So we ended up doing the museum after all.
This date belongs in a museum.
So I just had one thing about the museum, and it was it was the first time I've been to a museum
on a date.
1, on a date. 2, probably in like 10 years. I don't know when the last time I went that wasn't like mandated by the government or whatever, like because I'm in school.
Oh, okay.
That's a weird mandate.
Yeah.
Like educational mandate or something.
Right.
I honestly cannot. Oh, you know what the last time I went to a museum was? Is they have the IMAX in the Air and Space Museum in D.C.
Oh,
and
wow.
I went to see The Force Awakens there.
Whoa.
In 2016. And so we got to go through the museum and see like where the shuttle and the and the Wright brothers plane probably is there. Weather balloon, hot air balloon.
Look at here's the rotten beef and the shoes.
Oh, that's where those are. They have to be in a glass case.
Yes, scent sealed.
Yeah, right. It has a guard, has a beef eater in front of it.
You see green waves above it.
They're guarded by the barf eaters. The rotting beef eaters. So that was the last time I went to a museum. Yeah. And I remember taking selfies, I went with my brother and
there they probably had a picture of the core.
Yeah. The Earth's core.
The band.
Why would they have the band there?
It was a callback to the joke earlier.
But it didn't make sense. Why would they be in the museum?
It was a reference to the Earth's core, but it was more of a reference to the callback to the earlier.
Okay, gotcha. Sorry, I was a little confused.
It's okay.
Something about a notebook. Put that in a notebook.
Edit that joke I just did so it'll be viral.
Oh my God. So that was 2016. Was how long ago? Oh, is that even when The Force Awakens came out? I can't remember. I just remember not liking that movie at all.
Oh, I liked it. Only because I got to see Harrison.
Yeah, die.
Yeah,
he died in the movie.
He's still great. He had a bunch of great scenes before he died.
All those were in the trailer though. Chewie, we're home. I remember seeing that.
Chewie should have had gray hair.
I know, and he should have had a pierced ear like Harrison.
Chewie should have had some gray hair. I really want to say that. But anyway.
The problem was all the good scenes were in the trailer, and then
he gets Chewie's crossbow and has a couple of fun scenes with that.
Yeah, but then there's like a giant ball alien for no reason. I don't know.
That's Indiana Jones.
It seemed like Indiana Jones, except when he was an alien. There's like a ball that rolled around.
Rolling and chasing him.
Yes.
That's a great point.
What do you mean?
It's basically Indiana Jones.
I know they're ripping off like every movie. It's like such like
I was wondering
nostalgia milking.
Yeah.
Same exact.
I've seen that movie.
Yeah, don't Google that.
No.
It's the same movie. It's the same.
I was wondering why Han Solo had a whip. And Sean Connery.
And he had a leather outfit.
Yeah, and
Gimp mask.
There was Nazis.
Yeah, there's Nazis. We will teach you to behave. Whatever. But whatever, I could get on The Force Awakens in the bonus, but which I believe stinks. It's just the same movie except
the movie, not the bonus.
Yeah, except now there's a worse Darth Vader, a worse Leia, a worse worse old new Han Solo, Oscar Isaac.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever, everybody, and it sucked. But what was I saying? Oh, the museum.
Yeah.
So, first time at a museum in a while. First time all pandemic, I've been reading history for fun.
Yeah.
Watching history on YouTube. You know, because what else is there? I don't know. Other than experiencing life and what you couldn't because it was everything was closed. So I'm walking around this museum with this date. I think it's like the second date or whatever. And literally, I'm like, I know too much. It's unappealing. She was like, I remember like we first walked in and there's an Italian wing.
Yeah.
And she goes, oh, those pots, that's weird. They look very Greek. This is the Italian wing. And I went, my eyes rolled in the back of my head, and I went, yes, that's because Italy was settled by the Greeks. Southern Italy was. That's why the Romans called it Magna Graecia. And then my eyes rolled back to normal, and I go, whoa, what happened?
Yeah, that is weird.
That is weird. Yeah, what are those? Literally every exhibit I had like a weird factoid about.
So it's made you resent her for not knowing the things.
No one would know this. Why would anyone know that?
But that's what I'm saying. Like, you're knowledgeable of all this stuff and not finding it interesting, meaning you're not on the same wavelength of her.
I didn't mind that she didn't know these weird factoids.
Oh, okay.
I minded myself for saying them out loud.
Oh.
Like, what am I doing? Who cares? Who cares?
You probably impressed her for knowing all this stuff.
I know, but I'm sure like hour 3 of my factoids, she wanted to.
She wanted you to fact off.
She wanted to stick one of those mummifier things up her nose and pull out my brain.
Yeah, she wanted your brain in a jar.
Yeah.
Here, put this next to the old shoes.
She takes like some wrappings off a mummy and puts it around my mouth.
She was like, his conversations could lift a hot air balloon.
They stink. So I kind of started like controlling myself later, but it took me a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to see these things. I've only seen on Wikipedia and YouTube in person. So
Chewbacca was a wiki.
Wikipedia, which is actually a website.
Oh, that makes sense.
Star Wars Wikipedia.
That makes so much sense.
So great.
That's a great name.
And there's literally any episode, anything Star Wars related.
Yeah.
Like literally there'd be one robot in the corner.
Yeah.
In A New Hope.
Yeah.
Whole article about the history of that robot.
Of course. I heard that they were releasing some stuff to help you disinfect, and it's called Hans sanitizer.
Oh my gosh. I'm trying to think of one.
And there's actually some cartridges you can get for your Darth Vapor.
Oh, it's pretty good. Yeah, I got one on.
Man, lightning fast over here.
Well, it's hard.
They're coming at your riffs are coming at light speed.
Yeah, my warp drive broke. Oh my god. Oh man, I cannot believe I can't think of a pun here.
The chosen pun.
I don't know. 3CPO is.
You always say 3CPO.
What is it? 3PO.
It's C3PO.
Oh.
You're the biggest Star Wars nerd I know, and you always say 3CPO.
Okay, so C3PO. The C stands for Clorox. You know that scene in the second one, Empire Strikes Back, where Darth Vader's in that ball, and then the thing lifts down his helmet.
Yeah,
that just puts on a COVID mask. I don't know, everybody. I'm zonked out. I'm zonked out over here. But how did the date end? Well, we walked around the museum. Oh man, this is anxiety inducing. The place closes at 5.
Yeah.
We got there at like 2. At 4:45, they're like, museum closes. There's these guards that stand around.
Yeah, beef eaters.
They're just wearing like clothes.
Yeah.
And I go, oh my God. And literally like, we're like, okay, we wanted to check out this one exhibit. We're running over there, walk by another guard. 14 minutes left. Oh my God. We get lost.
It's like a rocket launch.
It is. And I'm like, my heart's racing. I'm like, I got to absorb this stuff. And then they yell 13 minutes.
Oh my God.
We go down the wrong stairwell and get complete turnaround. And then, oh yeah, that's what I also wanted to say. And I tweeted about this too. It kind of went viral, semi-viral, but I'm terrified to ask for help at places like that. You know, these people are going 12 minutes and the girl I'm with walks up and goes, excuse me, which way to the blah, blah, blah? And they're like, oh, okay, it's this way, that way. By the way, that shirt, what is that? And she goes, oh, she was wearing an X-Files shirt. They go, isn't episode 3 crazy? 12 minutes. Get away from us. Get away from us. We got time. You're literally saying 12 minutes and asking us questions. So then we like get past them and then the guy goes, wait, hold on. And I'm like, oh, he's telling us wrong directions. We walk back to this guard and he goes, what do you think about that?
Oh my God.
What do you think about that alien sighting they had by the Navy and stuff? And we're like, huh? He's like, yeah. They call it the Tic Tac. And I'm like, we got to get out of here.
That's the one with the 15-second videos.
No, I thought that's the one that freshens your breath. I guess he was saying that there's some video of that Navy took, Air Force took, where it looks like a Tic Tac that can't be explained.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, cool, dude. Like 10 minutes. We got to like run away from this guy. And she's asking everybody, because, you know, we get, she's like, which way to this? And they're like, make a left. By the way, and I'm like, don't talk to us. Make a And we talked to this other guard. She asked this guy, and I'm like, thank God for her. We would have been lost.
Wow.
12 hours ago. So that's what I'm saying. It's good to pair up with somebody who's not afraid to ask for things.
Yes.
It makes you a whole person.
I know. I got her sleeping in the living room.
You got her,
right
yeah. That's what I need. If I'm around somebody, and I think I told you this before, but the Voldemort or whatever wouldn't ask either. It'd just be two people.
Yeah.
She'd just yell at me for not asking and then wouldn't ask.
Well, at least, you know, it's not hypocritical. But God. Quick anxiety thing for me. a step forward in the right direction today.
Yeah, let me hear it.
I went to a diner with Joe and Sarah this
Oh.
morning for breakfast.
Very cool.
And Joe
Bel Air?
Bel Air.
Nice.
Joe jokes. He's like, New York waiters, they don't write anything down. They just listen and they nod, and you're like, something's gonna get messed up.
Mm-hmm.
They messed up mine.
What they do?
I ordered sausage, egg, and cheese. They only gave me egg and cheese.
Oh.
And I go, and it comes down, and I go to Joe. I'm like, yeah, I'm the one that got the messed up order. And I'm like, I'm going to say something.
Whoa.
And the waiter comes by, and I stopped him. And that's the first thing I've never done.
I've never done that in my whole life.
And I go, excuse me. And I'm like, and Joe's watching me like, who the hell is this guy?
Wow.
And I go, yeah, I ordered this, and I got this instead. And he's like, oh, my God, I'm so sorry. I didn't hear that. And I'm like, totally fine. And I go, thank you so much. Comes back, gives me the sausage, no problem. Comes back later when he gives a check. He goes, I didn't charge you for my mistake.
Whoa. See, that bothers me is like usually there's proof, you know.
I had zero proof.
Zero proof. It's your word against his.
But I
might have jogged his memory though.
It might have jogged his memory, but I said it with no accusation and just sincerity. And I would have paid if I had that charge on there.
Yeah.
Because that's what I ordered.
Right.
But he brought extra sausage over, and it was great.
Wow. That's making me hungry. Well, congratulations, man. That is
Thank
a big
you.
achievement in both of our lives. Because you remember, what was the last time where you forgot to, or you didn't want to ask anything and it was ruined? Well, didn't that happen? Like, we did an episode about that.
Oh, when we were in Boston.
Yeah.
Or I was in Boston.
You were in Boston,
yes. Yeah. It was awful.
So you've come a long way through the history of the podcast.
Yes, I have. All right, I'm checking our Instagram here.
All right. Well, I'll have one topic ready by the time you check it out and the email and everything.
Let's see here. Nothing on our Instagram.
Oops. Okay. Well, we also didn't post about it, but
Or Twitter.
Okay.
But as always, send in your topics whenever, everybody. We'll get to them get it to them by Sunday, and we'll always read them on the podcast.
Okay, so I got one from Reddit again.
Perfect.
This one says, the day after a party, I revisit everything I've ever said or done. That's the headline. Then it says, I can't go out anymore. The days after a social gathering, I process myself for everything I have said or done.
Mm-hmm.
Often I have a couple drinks to loosen up and to cope with my social anxiety, so it makes it easier for me to communicate and to stand in front of a room full of people. The problem is the days after. I feel like I'm a worthless bigot, boring, ugly, absolutely anything cruel I could think of to label myself. Becoming impossible for me to live my everyday life because even if I distract myself, all I can think about are the horrible things I did, and I stress out over what others might think about me.
Well, I think part of that is alcohol.
Yeah, true.
As much as social anxiety stinks and you think alcohol is going to fix it, alcohol removes your judgment and really loosens up removes the filter. So you're going to do things that maybe your anxiety would have double and triple checked.
Yes.
As far as doing and saying. I've fallen in this trap many times. I don't get I've joked about this. I don't get physical hangovers. I get emotional ones.
Yeah, me too. And mental ones.
So really watch your alcohol intake. One drink is fine, I think. It gets you a little bit loose and comfortable.
Right.
But don't keep going because you're going to say stuff you'll regret.
Yeah, and alcohol, when you're hungover the next day, I get depressed no matter what. I don't know if you do, but that happened to me. I only had like 2 beers, and I was like, why do I feel like a piece of crap?
Yeah,
and I'm like, because I drank last night.
Unmotivated,
groggy. Groggy, yeah. It completely like shoots a day off because I'm older too, but I think this always happened to me. I'm just more self-aware of it now.
Yeah.
But it's not worth it, man, because then you're tired, you're groggy, you're depressed from the alcohol, and then you have the more fuel to more stinky meat to beat yourself up with.
And raise your air balloon. I will say this, and this is something that I should be telling myself. If you're invited to a social gathering, they want you there.
Yes.
They know who you are. They like you. They like being around you. You make those people feel good, and they want you to have a good time, and that's why they invited you.
That's the first hurdle is getting invited.
Yeah.
That's hard.
Yeah.
You know, the worst is when you're like a +1.
Yeah. Oh God.
When you're a +1 to a gathering, I feel like the pressure's on because that's your interview.
Yeah.
For the group.
For some reason, they expect you to bring everything that the group is lacking.
Yeah. What in what?
You're like this thing that they all can be like, well, hopefully they can fill in what we're missing. Like, I don't know. For some reason, the +1 either is the quietest, but I don't know.
They're expected to be. There's a lot of pressure for the +1 to be like Mr. Party Guy
and fit the momentum of the whole group that's so familiar with each other.
Right, which is hard too. Yeah, because if you're like, oh, they brought this guy to the party, that must be a reason.
Right.
Other than they just like each other's company.
Yeah. Every time I just lost. Oh, every time I'm a +1, when the person that brought me goes to the bathroom, I do not know what to do.
That's me too.
I'm like just standing outside that door going, please be a number 1. Like me.
You know what my move is? Waiting in the bathroom line. If there's another line.
Oh.
If there's only one bathroom, I pretend to wait in line like, oh, that was a good idea.
Yeah.
If there's another bathroom, I'll just use that.
Yeah.
And wait and hopefully take a long time so that person's out.
The goal is to just not be caught standing alone. But if you're in a line, then you don't look like you're standing alone. Yeah, so that's perfect.
The line is like perfect. And I remember when I would go to like bar parties and not really know anybody, I would always wait in line for the bathroom.
I have gone to a party. I've gone to a party at a bar, gone all the way to the bathroom, turned around and left.
Yeah, of course. I've done that too. The worst time is when you wait in line to go. Wait in this long line to get into a bar or club or whatever, and then you get in and you don't know anyone, and you're like, man, I was having more fun in the line. At least it looked like I could belong.
Yeah, the anticipation was the best part.
Also, you don't have to worry about looking weird for standing.
Yeah,
when you're by yourself standing, so suddenly your people are disturbed.
There's no pressure to dance when you're outside in the snow.
Yeah, but you got a coat on and a hat.
Oh man.
What was I saying about weird things? Yeah. I mean, chances are people don't remember what you said anyway. It's very unless you totally have a Kramer at the Comedy Store event or Laugh Factory event.
Oh God.
People remember that.
Well, I try to find lighter topics.
Yeah, me too. Less pitchforks and But but for the majority, everyone says stupid things. Everyone forgets everything.
It's having a sense of humor about yourself is also important too, but not so self-deprecating that people are like, "Whoa, this guy hates himself."
And a good example of that is going to Joe's house. I think I said something. I was like, "Oh, why did I say that?" And then he even forgot I went over there.
Yeah,
he didn't even know I went over there. I was like worried about what I said for like a couple days.
Yeah.
He forgot.
Yeah.
He forgot everything we talked about.
Everybody's wrapped up in their own brain as usual. But anyways, we got to wrap it up here. Anything else before
no, just another reason to stop drinking is cuz like you said the filter's off. So the more you say, I feel like the more weird it gets in a row. Yeah. I'm not saying like conversationally, but when you blab out a whole paragraph, I feel like it disturbs people. You know, like you want to have like a couple lines, they can have a couple lines, but if you're drunk, you kind of just have a monologue.
Oh yeah.
That people just have to go, okay, and then like I'm going to really go over somewhere else.
Right. Perfect.
All right, everybody. I don't know if that helps anybody.
No, that helps.
It probably makes people more self-conscious, but maybe work on that. Work on a couple good lines at a time.
You can hold your own at a party. Well, thank you, everybody. And bonus episodes for a month for $5. Check them out on the Patreon. Check out our YouTube. It's really fun. And if you're not following us on Instagram and Twitter, please do. And send us in your topics at any point that you're experiencing them.
And all the links to the YouTube, Patreon, SoundCloud, all that is in the description. And we are part of a Helium network. We just confirmed with them. So stay tuned for the music, everybody. Thanks so much.
Thank you.